No is not rude, it's sacred. There was a time when you were praised for saying yes. Yes to helping. Yes to staying late. Yes to being polite, even when your gut screamed no. Because being a nice girl meant being available to everyone, for everything, all the time. But that version of you, she was easy to use, easy to ignore, easy to burn out. Now the pendulum swings. The era of endless yes is over. This is the rise of the woman who says no and doesn't explain herself. You don't owe anyone an explanation, not your time, not your energy, not your body. And if that makes you look mean, good. Let them think so. Because finally, you're choosing you. What about the cost of saying yes against yourself? Every time you say yes when your whole body wants to say no, a small part of you dies. It's subtle. A smile that feels fake. A night out you didn't want. A favor you regret before you even finish agreeing to it. It doesn't seem like much. You just said yes to keep the peace, to not make it awkward, to not be difficult. But let's be honest, you didn't keep the peace. You just declared war on yourself. People think ignoring their boundaries is kindness. It's not. It's self-abandonment. Let's break it down. You agreed to cover for a coworker who dumps their responsibilities on you. You agreed to go on a date with someone you're not even interested in, just to be nice. You lent money you couldn't afford to lose. You said yes to hosting a dinner when you needed a night alone. And maybe nobody noticed. Maybe they even thanked you. But when you looked in the mirror, something was off. Because you knew the truth. You betrayed yourself again. You taught the world that your time, your space, your energy are up for grabs. And the more you do it, the more you disappear. The real you gets quieter, tired. Number every yes that violates your truth is a silent no to your soul. This is why learning to say no isn't rude. It's revolutionary. It's the first act of loyalty to yourself. And it's terrifying at first, because you'll lose some people. But you'll find something bigger, your own power. So the next time your body hesitates, your stomach tightens, your voice shakes, don't ignore it. That's not weakness. That's your inner self screaming, "Stop abandoning me." Saying no doesn't make you cold, it makes you conscious. See, we've been trained to believe that no creates conflict, that it pushes people away, that it's selfish. But that's a lie sold to women to keep them compliant. Let me tell you the truth. No is not rejection. It's selection. You're not pushing the world away. You're choosing what enters your world. A woman who cannot say no will always be at the mercy of those who can. Let's go deeper. When you say no to the wrong people, you're making space for the right ones. When you say no to obligations that drain you, you're making space for rest. When you say no to fake intimacy, you're protecting your soul from counterfeit love. Because yes, without desire, isn't kindness. It's a mask. And behind that mask is resentment, exhaustion, and quiet self-hatred. And here's the kicker. The people who get offended when you say no, they were never looking for connection. They were looking for compliance. Let that sink in. The friend who ghosts you after you set a boundary was never your friend. The partner who calls you too much when you protect your peace was never safe. The boss who questions your loyalty when you assert your time was never fair. Your no will offend those who benefited from your silence. Nikaya Homer. So what does no really mean? It means, I trust my instincts more than your pressure. I protect my body from energies that don't feel right. I don't owe anyone my availability. I choose quality over guilt. I will not self-destruct to make others comfortable. That's not mean, that's mature. And yes, it's uncomfortable at first. You'll feel guilty. You'll question yourself. You'll fear being seen as cold, rude, or arrogant. But every time you say no and stand in it, your spine straightens, your voice deepens, your energy shifts. You move from people-pleasing into presence, from reaction into sovereignty. No is not a wall, it's a gate, and you hold the key. You choose who enters, who stays, who gets your time, energy, body, and attention. Not because you're hard to love, but because you've finally decided you're not easy to use. How to say no without explaining yourself? Let's be honest. Most of us don't struggle to say no. We struggle to say it without guilt. We over-explain. We soften it. We try to make it sound less like no and more like, I'm sorry for having boundaries. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone a backstory for protecting your peace. No is a complete sentence. And if you can master that sentence, you reclaim years of lost energy. It starts in childhood. We were taught to be nice, to not hurt feelings, to give people the benefit of the doubt, especially if you were raised as a girl. Politeness was a survival skill. But politeness without protection becomes a cage. So when you say no, your nervous system reacts like you're in danger. Your voice shakes. You rush to justify, I would love to, but I'm just really busy. I'm so sorry. I feel bad saying this. I hope you understand. It's not personal. That's not boundaries. That's still performance. You don't need to be mean. You just need to be solid. Try these instead. No, thank you. That doesn't work for me. I won't be able to do that. I'm not available. I'm focusing on other things right now. That's it. No extra sentences. No smiling through the discomfort. No waiting for approval. Because your life isn't a democracy. You are not a public resource. You are not obligated to be understood. You are allowed to disappoint others and still be a good person. One of the strongest tools you can use is the pause. When someone asks something of you, pause. Don't rush into yes. Don't fill the silence. Let the discomfort sit. And then say, let me think about it. That gives you space. It breaks the reflex. It reminds you that you are in charge of your time and energy. Saying no doesn't make you rude. It makes you real. People who love and respect you will adapt. People who relied on your lack of boundaries will fall away. Let them. That's not rejection. That's evolution. And remember this, you can say no without a reason. You can say no and still love people. You can say no and feel good about it. Because saying no is not the end of connection. It's the beginning of self-respect. No is your sacred power. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman named Leah. She was the one everyone could count on, the helper, the fixer, the strong one. She never said no, not to her friends, not to her boss, not even to men who treated her like an option. They said she was so kind. She's always there. She never complains. But what they didn't know is that every yes was slowly killing her. She said yes to watching her friends' kids while battling burnout, yes to staying late at work while her own deadlines piled up, yes to sleeping with a man she didn't even trust, just to feel wanted for one more night. Until one day, she woke up and didn't recognize herself, not because something big happened, but because nothing had changed. And she realized her life didn't belong to her anymore. She was living inside 1,000 silent agreements she never wanted to make. And that's when it happened, the smallest rebellion. Someone asked, "Can you help me this weekend?" And for the first time in her life, she smiled and said, "No." No anger, no apology, just clarity. The other person blinked. There was a pause, but nothing exploded. No one died. The world didn't fall apart, except one thing did collapse. The version of Leah who thought she needed to be agreeable to be loved. The first time you say no and survive it, you unlock your real life. After that, she said no more often. No to overworking, no to fake love, no to people who only called her when they needed something, and slowly. She began to hear herself again, her real voice, not the polite one, the true one. She didn't become mean, she became free. You see, no isn't just a word, it's a shield, a filter, a declaration. I choose myself, and when you choose yourself, you attract people who don't want your submission. They want your truth. So no, you're not too much. You're not selfish. You're not rude. You're finally real. And real women don't burn their soul to keep others warm. They set fire to the lies and rise. If this message hit something deep in you, it's not by accident. Because here, on She Needs to Her This, we don't sugarcoat the truth. We speak the things that were never said out loud, but always felt. This is one of 100 real, raw, and relevant topics every woman deserves to hear in 2025. Topics about power, boundaries, healing, femininity, self-worth, and the silent revolutions happening inside us all. So if you felt seen, heard, or even a little shaken, subscribe to this channel. Send this video to the woman who needs it more than she'll ever admit, and drop a comment, because your story might be the one that saves someone else. Welcome to your next chapter. You're not broken, you're becoming.